Welcome, guys. Equity Podcast. Barrick here. We're talking what should you do if you're hurt. If it's something minor, take some rest and do your thing. But if it's something that's lingering, if it's something that is painful, that is really hanging around, that's what we're mainly talking about today. Something that just isn't right and it's just not going away. We're doing physical activity in the gym, and any physical activity has risks associated with it. You could be lifting perfectly and something can go wrong. There is a risk when we're lifting weights, when we're running, when we're doing anything. But there's risk in living life. There's risks in walking down the street. There's risk in walking downstairs. There's risk in walking upstairs, right? So, yes, injuries can happen, but we can help mitigate that risk by lifting well and being coachable and leaving our ego at the door, making sure that we're lifting what we can lift. On the flip side of that, what happens a lot of times is we have things that happen in our everyday life, or happen when we used to play soccer as a kid, or basketball, or we played that pickup game with our kids' soccer team that one time, and I tweaked my back a little bit. What happens a lot of times is the gym exposes an injury that's already there that we didn't notice before. So you were a softball pitcher your entire life, and you heard it, but then you kind of forgot about it, and then you started at the gym and you started doing overhead stuff, and now your shoulder starts hurting. Right? It's not that you hurt it doing strict pull-ups, it's that it exposed that you had a limitation or an injury, but you just hadn't used it. So we have both of those avenues that happen very frequently, and the gym exposing an issue is definitely what comes up more frequently. I've had tendonitis, and I thought it was ring muscle-ups and rope climbs, but it ended up being how I was reading when I was on the computer. I would, doing research, I'd put my elbow on the desk and put my chin on my elbow, and I would put a lot of pressure on it. So that was causing the tendonitis, not the other things. And, that was a process to figure that out. But we're hurt. We really have to modify at the gym, or we have to take a break. What should I do? So we're going to talk about 3 people that you can see to get help. The first one is your family doctor / a specialist. You're probably going to have to go through your family doctor to see a specialist, and a specialist can mean different things depending on how you're hurt, right? It could be, that specialist could be a PT, it could be a back specialist or a wrist specialist, whatever it is. It could be somebody, an ortho, but a family doctor and a specialist. And that's what these people went to school for. They went to school to help you with healthcare issues, to help you with injuries, to help you with being sick. They are going to get you from sickness into wellness. And that's what they're there for. And that's what they do, and they do an awesome job doing it. One of the other positives with starting here is that insurance will cover, hopefully insurance will cover it. And that is a big upside when somebody else can pay for it. Why not have them pay for it? So that is definitely a place to start. And then also you can hopefully find out what the actual root cause is. Sometimes when we have knee pain, the issue isn't the knee, it's somewhere up or down the chain. Getting somebody to pay for it, super helpful. Now, some of the downsides is that they might not understand why we want to be able to do the things. I hear stories all the time. It's like, hey, I told my doctor that my shoulder hurts whenever I go overhead, and my doctor just said, don't go overhead. well, that's not going to work for me, right? Or you have somebody who's a runner who says, hey, I've been running lately, and my knee's been hurting or my ankle's been hurting while running, and the doctor just says, well, stop running. Well, that's not how that works. That's not how I want to live my life. I want to get better so I can keep doing the thing that I enjoy doing, keep doing the thing that helps me be healthy, both physically and mentally. So there can be some push away with that. And then also sometimes insurance just won't cover certain things. So what are we going to do next? So the next place we can go is a activity-specific professional. And that is a really broad term, and it was broad on purpose. So obviously, we're at the gym, so we're going to talk a little bit of the CrossFit type stuff. But imagine if there was a PT or a chiropractor or an art practitioner or something along those lines that actually did CrossFit, that did other things outside the gym and understood that, hey, this bum knee isn't affecting me from living my day-to-day life, but it is affecting me in doing the things that I really enjoy doing. Like, I can go to work, I can clean, I can clean the house, I can cook, I can do all those things, but when I start getting that intensity above a certain amount, my knee really starts hurting. Doctors and insurance might not help with that, but a activity-specific professional, a PT that does what we do, is going to be like, oh yeah, you should be able to run, you should be able to squat, you should be able to do those things. Let's help you get there. So they have the knowledge of how to get you out of there. They can diagnose. They can figure out what that underlying cause is, right? And help you get to where you want to be. And they understand that what you need in order to get there, right? A lot of nutrition advice from a doctor is, just eat good and eat less, right? Versus getting specific help with that. So they can give you much more specific help and understand why. The downside of that is it's going to be out of pocket. Insurance probably isn't going to cover that. Which is what it is. If you got to figure out what is it worth getting that? And a lot of times it is. We have some of these professionals in the gym. Min is one. There's another one at CrossFit Bear, Lindsay. Min has helped me with my knee. He's really awesome. He comes into the gym like once or twice a week. He's really awesome. He's done a few competitions. He helped Krista out with the Green Beret competition. So really good to look into some of those. If you go to a competition, there's almost always a PT person there that is kind of doing that type of thing. So it's definitely something to seek out if you have some issues. The last one is your equity coaches. It's us. What we're strength and conditioning coaches. We are really good at building strength and fitness and stability and movement patterns. We're really good at that. We are not healthcare providers. We are not able to diagnose. But we see movement every day, and we see you every day. We get to see, maybe not every day, but very frequently. We get to see you constantly throughout the week. We know how you move. We see how you move well in areas, where you move less ideal, and we really understand a lot about you, and we can use that knowledge to really help. If there's a serious injury, if there's a complicated injury or a serious injury, we're probably not going to be able to help. We might have to go to that doctor or to another professional. But if it's something that is relatively minor, that is just more of an inconvenience, that, when you're hanging from a pull-up bar, it's just like it just bothers your shoulder. It's something that bothers you, but might not necessarily hurt. That is something that we can really help with. So I'm going to give an example of this. I had two softball players, Jackie and Becca. Jackie had hurt her shoulder when she was younger, like really young, like 12 or something, I believe. And she was a pitcher, and it's just been hurting since then. And she joined the gym, and she really started noticing hanging from the bar and pushing was really bothering her. It didn't necessarily hurt per se, but it definitely bothered her. It was uncomfortable. She didn't really want to do it. Becca had an injury, same thing. She was a pitcher, but she had some more severe limitations that she could do. Like, she really couldn't do some pressing overhead. The shoulder would actually pop out at certain areas, and there's just much more severe issues with the shoulder. I was not comfortable working with Becca. I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the background to get her to where I wanted her to be. So I suggested that she start working with a activity-specific professional. So she started working with Lindsay from CrossFit Pair. It was before Min was in. And Lindsay was able to help her out. Now, Becca ended up moving to San Francisco, but she started that process, and she still was able to work out, but she was having somebody there to help her get to where she wanted to be. Now, with Jackie, on the other hand, I was much more comfortable being able to work with her. I knew what needed to be done. So I've been working with her for a few months now, and she did a competition this weekend, and she has no pain after a competition of hanging, of doing pull-ups, of doing burpees, of doing all those things that were bothering her before. And again, it was something that was bothering her, but it wasn't severe. And we worked on strengthening and creating stability and working on movement mechanics. And now she's at that level where she's ready to start working on those RX movements of some of those more advanced gymnastics, because she doesn't have that pain anymore. So it's awesome. It's not one is better than the other. It's what's appropriate for what's bothering you with what's hurt. What is appropriate. The downside to us, to using your coaches, is we're strength and conditioning coaches. We might not have that expertise, and we're going to tell you that up front. It's like, oh, this is outside my realm. We need to go see somebody else. And the other thing is, just like with the activity-specific professional, we're out of pocket as well. So, and there's other things that we can pull. So, like Jackie, she's doing an accessory program right now, and I send her stuff every week for that, to help build that shoulder up. The hybrid membership is also a really good option. You get the accessories, you get specific workouts, or you get the workouts specifically tailored to you. So if you have a knee issue and squatting below parallel is tough, what we can do is have accessories to help that, but also on top of that, modify the workouts so you don't have to go into the workout blind. Like, hey, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. We can set that up. It's like, hey, this is what you're going to do instead of that. And there's a bunch of different levers we can pull to help that out. So, depending on the severity of your issue, check out and even with this one, you should probably just get checked out to see if the insurance will pay for it. But depending on the severity, family doctor or a specialist, see if insurance will pay for it. Hell yeah. Step 2 is a activity-specific practitioner, chiropractor, PT, something like that. And then finally, check us out. We can help build that strength and stability to help get over that. And also letting us know, we can help you out during the workouts as well. Sometimes we don't know that you're hurt. Let us know. So those are the big 3. I just want to thank Lindsay G for the idea for this. She's been having some shoulder issues, and she was like, "What should I do? I don't even know where to go. I don't know what I should be doing." And I kind of went through this list with her, and thank you, Lindsay, for that idea. I appreciate it. If you're having any issues, or even if you have a weakness that you want to attack, if you have something that is just bothering you a little bit that you want to nip in the butt, let us know. We'd love to work with you to help you get there, get back to where you want to be and reach that goal that you want. As always, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Cheers, guys.